Hello everyone, welcome to Karma Education. This is the channel for UGC NET education subject. It has a target to cover whole syllabus of UGC NET education. In this video, I am Konkona Pal going to discuss about scientific method. It is a subtopic of research and research is included in Unit 6 of Education NET syllabus. Let's start. Topic will be covered up in this video. These are meaning of scientific method, steps of scientific method, example of scientific method, and some related question answer will be discussed. Scientific method involves in acquisition of knowledge and development of testing hypothesis. In the field of inquiry, scientific method is an empirical way of acquiring knowledge. Empirical means when evidence is collected through systematic observation or through experience. With a specific problem, it involves rigorous observation and formulation of hypothesis which is tested by empirical research. Here, it is noted that a researcher can modify hypothesis on the basis of the outcome of the tests and experiments. The modified hypothesis is retested until it becomes consistent with observed phenomena and testing outcomes. Knowledge of independent and dependent variables are essential for scientific research. Independent variables means the variation does not depend on another variable, often denotes by x, and dependent variable when value depends on other variable, often denotes by y. Now, steps of scientific method. By collecting information, observation and asking questions, problem is identified. After that, hypothesis will be constructed. Hypothesis means tentative assumption of the problem. Then conduct experiment or collection of data, and then data analysis. It means it is the comparison between observed results, or it is meant by what actually happened, observed result, and expected result. It means what should happen if hypothesis is correct. Okay, so this is the comparison in between observed results and expected results. And then conclusion. If observed result is same as expected result, then draw conclusion by accepting hypothesis. And if it is not correct, then refine the hypothesis, or you can modify the hypothesis. Then again you have to retest or re-experiment the whole study, and then you have to draw the conclusion. So this is the speciality of scientific method. And after conclusion, you have to report. You have to do the report writing. You can give the oral presentation, or you can give the written presentation of your study. Example always makes clear any topic. I have added an example of scientific method over here. The example is, first step was identify the problem. To check if a chili plant will grow more quickly with or without use of fertilizer. Step 2 is construct hypothesis or construction of hypothesis. Here, the null hypothesis is that there is no significant difference between growing chili plant with or without use of fertilizer. And the alternative hypothesis is that there is a statistically significant difference between with or without use of fertilizer for growing chili plant. Step 3 is collection of data or experiment. For this step, place two identical pots in outdoor with same soil. One pot with fertilizer and another one without fertilizer. Then plant two chili plants. Care the plants same way, that is both plants will get similar amount of water and sunlight. Now observe carefully the growth of the plants for the 3 weeks and take notes about the size of each plant. Next step is data analysis. Explain the data which you recorded about the growth of both plants over the course of 3 weeks. Check the hypothesis is correct or not. If it is not correct, then you have to check again, or it means give more time to observe or construct hypothesis again. If your hypothesis is correct, then you have to proceed to next step. The next step is conclusion. Based on data analysis, come to the conclusion whether the use of fertilizer helps to grow chili plant quickly or not. And the last step is report writing. Report your writing with presentation. I have added scientific method related questions. This question came in June 2019 UGC NET Education. The question is, from the list below, identify the statements which appropriately describe the main characteristics of steps in scientific method. Means you have to select the options which are the steps of scientific method. First, identifying and defining the problem, then defining the problem and sampling procedure, selecting a sample, formulating hypothesis, collecting, organizing and analyzing data, fixing the framework for data analysis, formulating conclusion, verification, rejection or modification of the hypothesis. Just see the codes which are given below. In this given code, option 2 and 3 are more or less same. It includes the steps like option D, formulating hypothesis, then option E, collecting, organizing and analyzing data, then option G, formulating conclusion, and H, verification, rejection or modification of the hypothesis. Both are more or less same, but as a step 1, A and C are different. In these two given codes 2 and 3, option A is identifying and defining the problem and C is selecting a sample. Obviously identifying and defining the problem is the first step of scientific method, so the correct option will be here option 2. The next question is, scientific method is also known as trial and error method, deductive hypothesis method, empirical theoretical method, inductive deductive method. Here the correct option is deductive hypothesis method, because it starts with a general statement or hypothesis and examines the possibilities to reach a logical conclusion. And the next question, in scientific method, what step comes between problem of the study and empirical investigation? Option 1, data collection, option 2, hypothesis generation, option 3, report writing, and option 4, data analysis. What will be the correct option? Correct option is option 2, hypothesis generation, because first identifying the problem, then construction of hypothesis, then collection of data, then data analysis, and then conclusion, after that report writing. So in between problem of the study and empirical investigation, hypothesis is generated. The next question is, the word empirical means option 1, a study that can be repeated and same results generate, Option 2, a systematic observation helps to collect evidence. Option 3, realistic and relevant study to the real world. And option 4, theory and conjecture generated ideas. Option 1, a study that can be repeated and same results generate. It is replication. It is not empirical. A systematic observation helps to collect evidence. A systematic observation helps to collect evidence is empirical. It means empirical study. When you systematically observe anything and collects the evidence, that is empirical. So the correct option over here, option 2.